Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's good to see you again, even though I can't actually see you. I'm going to show you every hand of a final table that we just played last night on Pokerstars. It is just a $4.40 bounty. Okay, I think up top with the bounties it would be something like $800. I think it's $507 first prize, and then the bounties is on top of that. So this is the first hand. Played a few tournaments yesterday, $22, $16, and a couple on GG, I think. Just been playing a couple of more tournaments the last few days. Not been going too bad. Well, over the last couple of days we're in profit now. So anyway, I don't really know how we got to this final table, because I had quite a few tables on my screen. That's one thing. So it wasn't really a tournament that I was concentrating too much on. And what I remember was, I think for a lot of the tournament we were card dead, and we were pretty much the last player for a long time. We weren't going anywhere, so I was just dead. And then I think we just had quite literally quite a bit of luck. We had 2 or 3 all-ins. We had, I think, about king about 3 times on the trot, and one, we went all in, and it was a all heart flop with a king on the flop, and the guy shoved on me. I think he had me covered actually, and I called. I'm assuming he had 2 hearts or ace of hearts. He had 2 hearts. I can't remember what particular hearts he had, and I paired the river. So there was a 5 on the flop, 5 of hearts on the flop, I think, and I think I caught a 5 on the river. If you do want me to go, what I can do, if you want me to go through every hand of the tournament, I could probably pull the tournament up on my HUD and go, just click through every hand from beginning to end, so that you can maybe see. I might do that with a couple of more tournaments. I just haven't had the time to do that. I've been meaning to do that, is to sort of look at 1 or 2 games, cash games and tournaments, go through them on my HUD, and I haven't really had time to do it myself in terms of study. So okay, I tend to I tend to just drop the small pairs, particularly if I'm in an EP. I'm really looking 10-10, jack, especially early position. I read Owen Gaines's books. I think I mentioned those in my last video. I might try to put a link to them, an Amazon link or something. They're great books in terms of learning what to do when you're playing short stacks, particularly in satellite tournaments. But I think I said in my last video, I don't really consider myself a tournament player at all. I don't really know what I'm doing, if I'm being honest with you. I did do a lot of work on it a year or 2 ago, so it was, but I need to do more work on it. I think I just need to brush up my push fold and my ranges and everything. I kind of, as I said in my last video, I think I'm playing too tightly, one thing, and I'm playing too much like a cash player, I think. So, but you tell me. What I really like about doing these videos is I just adjust my microphone. I think it might have been a bit of a bad sound, but hopefully that's better. You tell me. I mean, if you see anything that I'm not doing and I should be doing, that would be great. I mean, I've appreciated those comments and feedback previously, so more would be welcome. Jack 8 on the in the big blind here. No reason to continue there, I think. Completely missed that. With the final tables, I mean, I think this video is just over 30 minutes. And I did, it was about an hour or so originally. I didn't start recording until I was thinking about the last 18 players, the last 2 tables. I thought, okay, I'll record this. And I thought, well, I was thinking of what to do. There are some good hands actually on the table before this. And but I thought I'd just show the final table. Because then I can just show every hand. And when I watch a final table sometimes on YouTube, I like to see every hand just to kind of get a sense of how people are playing them. And I think there's a couple of YouTube channels, I can't remember what they're called now, where they've all got the cards up. I do like watching those sometimes. Obviously, we haven't got everyone's cards up here. You can only see my cards on the recorded video, so you only can see what I'm doing. I'm not sure that's helpful. But I thought, well, I do like watching those every hand of a final table video, because I just think just an interesting dynamic. If I just cut through the hands I'm playing, then yeah, I think that's okay. But I do like to see every hand, even though I'm not involved in the hand, so you can see what I'm folding. And I think really that's what I need to learn is, you know, I'm pretty sure I'm over folding. I'm pretty sure I should be shoving some hands more, should be reshoving some hands more. I'm not pretty sure, I'm certain. You know, I don't really get too many great cards in this final table, I don't think. And well, we'll see. But I do have the video with the table before this as well, so when I was about position 18th. If you do want me to play that, I can do. But let me know if there's any videos that you want me to, if there's any games that you want me to go through, if you want me to pull up this whole tournament on my HUD, go through every hand, show you what I played, what I folded, or any other tournaments that I played. Or if there's any tournaments that you want me to play, then I'm happy to do so. I do have, I mean, obviously I play on GG Poker as well. GG Poker, I advertise shares in my tournaments for staking. I do sell stakes in my Pokerstars tournaments, and I might put a link to that in the description here. I sell stakes on ustake.com. I'll maybe just put a link in the description, and I might put a message in the community chat or something to just let people know. Or I might even put a link somewhere on my site. So I do have a profile on ustake.com, and there you can see particularly the poker, sometimes GG tournaments, but mainly Pokerstars tournaments. I hopefully one day Pokerstars will do staking like GG Poker, because they don't at the moment. I think you obviously can get staked on GG Poker and other GG Poker network sites. Um, Jack 8 suited, I think, is too loose here for me. The early position, and I think you do staking on ACR now. I think I'm not sure. I don't play ACR, and yeah, so I'm hoping it comes to Pokerstars. That would be great. 4-4. I'm not. I mean, really, I think for me, 9-9, 10-10. Jack, possibly 8-8 early position. 4-4. Just such low EV. When you get shoved on. I mean, that's what this is what I'm thinking is what I'm getting, what pairs I'm going to call a shove with, looking at the table around me. 9-9's for a bit loose, but maybe, I think Owen Gaines in his books, he mentions Jack. It's the lowest you should be doing there. I don't know. But I think he was talking mainly about satellite tournaments. And this is a bit similar to, well, not entirely similar because you've got ICM here, but when you've only got a few players left in a satellite tournament, and it goes into good details about what hands should be played and how they should be played, and great books. I'll probably have a look over my game, because I did do quite a lot of study about a year or so ago. I just went through an intense period of particularly tournament study, and I haven't really done much since then, as much as I should have done. I've been more focused on my cash games, I think, which is fine. But I need to 7-7. I'll be looking to play this. For me, this is a kind of like raise foldy sort of hand, unless it's a really, really, really short stack. I don't know if you can see it, but got the VPIP figures on the icon here on this table. I must have set that up a long time ago. It's got my VPIP as 4. But I think I think I only just put my HUD on not too long before this, so it kind of don't think that's the VPIP for the whole tournament. I'd be surprised if it is. But I do play a lot tighter in tournaments, and I would say that in this tournament, I think I said earlier, for a long time, I had nothing. I had just dealt Jack 3 off like Robbie. I call. What, $250,000 on, what was it, Jack Eye or something. Anyway, interesting. Yeah, I used to really like watching those poker streams. I'm not going to name them, but after that sort of alleged scandal, my heart went out of it a little bit. I just thought, I'm not criticizing. I'm not making a comment on whatever happened or just talking about me. It just put me off for some reason. It just was a block for me to continue enjoying the stream. I don't think I've really watched it since. I used to watch it nearly every day, and then I stopped watching it. I think there was other reasons as well. I mean, I sort of, yeah, I think I realised watching high stakes cash games is really not that helpful in terms of, you know, informing your micro stakes play too much, because it's just a completely different set of dynamics. So yeah, I learned a lot from watching those games, but I also began to realize that, you know, it's a big difference when you're playing four deep stacks, four, 500 big blinds deep, so there's that much money about, and you've got whales, and you know. I mean, I watched a hand yesterday. Was it Eric Persson versus Patrick Antonius? I think it's now the biggest cash game and in history, online poker history. You know, it was $2 million or something like that. A lot of money anyway. But I have a look at it. I was on. I was only uploaded a couple of days ago, but you know, I mean, Eric Persson plays really loose, bit of a trash talker. But you know, I think you have to realise that guy owns about 20 casinos, and he's got about $1.52 billion in the bank. So yeah, I'm sure losing $1 million hurts, but you know, he's got enough in reserve. He's got enough money to mess about. Whereas maybe Patrick Antonius, up to I think the Jack 5 here, but just dead. I mean, yeah, the fives were there. We could have had the best hand. We may not have had the best hand. I'm not gonna mess about. Yeah, this hand I think I play well. 10 chips, 5-5. I was thinking about shoving this, and then this was a bad play I just called. Really low EV hand, a really low EV position. I was kind of thinking, you know, I've had nothing for ages. We get this kind of crappy situation, bottom end of a gut shotty draw, and you know, crappy flush, but then you know, 8, 9, 10, any 7 or any, you know, we're out now. We're kind of really. I probably just should have folded the fives there. My thinking. Ace 2 suited. This is the, you know, I'm shoving this. Whatever happens, I think. Just you know, under 10 big blinds in position, and here we go. Jack 2 off. I will be re-raising. All in. Oh, who knows? It's, yeah, V pips 14 now. So I think I don't think I put the hood on until just before this game, so the V pip figure's a little bit off. I mean, this was this tournament really. I mean, what with Jack 2 off, 10-5 off, this is kind of what we had for like the first 2 hours of it. Was just, you know, sometimes I find with the tournaments is I have to sit there and fold every hand, and I find it's really annoying, isn't it? I find that sometimes you like fold your card dead, you're getting nothing, and you get a lot of crumbs. Just can't hit a flop. It's even difficult to find a bluffing spot, you know, and then you get something like ace ace or king king, and then it gets trounced by something. I've got that GG poker at the moment. I think every $15 tournament I play, whether it's a $15 bounty or $15 whatever, I have ace ace in them, and it always loses. I think that about the last five $15 tournaments. I've sort of been in reasonably okay positions in them. I thought, okay, either just getting into the money, or this is for final table. I get ace ace. I've just been beat by underpairs. Yesterday, it was yesterday I played one. King Jack suited. I thought about this. Being a bit too loose. Just under the gun for me. I think it's a fold. I think it's a fold. I'm probably wrong there, but I'm going for a fold. Yeah, I think I had one yesterday. It was ace ace against jack jack, and I got a jack. I think I also had one ace ace against 5-5, hit a 5. I had that in a few tournaments yesterday. I had like ace ace. I had a really good pair, and I was up against under pairs. And sort of like the first card on the flop was best set. I think I was playing cash games last week on Pokerstars. I don't know if it was $5 or $10 games, can't remember. And I got beat by a set of fives about 4 times in 15 minutes. I just crucified. I tilted a bit. Yeah. I need to. My tilt control's getting a lot better, but I still once or twice I'm like, oh, fuck it. Or a little bit, you know, 10 high, top pair 10, you know. Never wins, but I shove anyway. Again, 10-9, nothing, nothing, nothing. Possible bluff, but a lot of things are going to call there, aren't they? You got 10-9. Oh, a possible bluff. Impossible bluff. More likely. Okay, well, you know, we're 7 out of 7 now. $77 prize, and you've got, well, about 20 something dollars in bounties, I think. Alright. $4. Can't complain. Thing about this final table, there's no really big stacks. I mean, obviously I'm the shortest stack. Pretty much what it was like throughout the whole tournament. And we can see a lot of players are on about 20, 25. One guy on 40, biggest stack. So felt to me when I was playing it yesterday like a bit of a cagey. Everyone kind of not too. Sometimes there's two or three short stacks to really, have a go at attack. But I think a lot of people they're up against somebody where gonna cost you your stack if you go over the top. It was a bit like that. It was an interesting final table, I thought. Nobody really dominating. Certainly not me. I don't really know any of these players. I haven't really got any labels on them. But obviously they've all done well to get to the final table. Especially me. Although me, well, that's debatable. Um, what I used to play a lot. I mean, what I like about these final tables, what I used to, and I might do some videos on them. I used to play a lot of those little. I think they've changed. I was talking about this the other day. I used to play a lot of sit and goes. The little one table, $1. Well, they start from $1. The 50-50s, the knockouts, and you get those little. I'm not sure if they still have them, but you used to start at 25 cents, kind of. What was it? Kind of 90 player, 25 player, or 50 player. I don't know. I can't remember. But those little tournaments, those little sit and goes, I think, you started off at about 50 chips. We used to. And then I think about 6 players would get paid. And yeah, I think there was a 90 player. I used to be a 90 player one and 45 player one. So, I think they started off at 25 cents and 50 cents, $1, whatever. I'll have to check whether they're still there. But they were sort of great to just sort of practice your, this type of game. Short stacked. And I might play a few of them. I need to. I think that's good. I think you need to do something like that to, practice the 25 cent, 50 cent, $1 games. What I used to think it's not really going to cost you much money. You might even win a bit of money. But the main thing is just kind of practicing short stacked, getting the final tables, and getting a feel for that. I kind of lost that a little bit because I had that a year or so ago. I used to do a lot more of that. I don't think I've played a sit and go now for a long time. Like I said, I might have a look at them and do let me know what you think of my play here. Rubbish. Give up. I can't H9 was I was thinking, is this a shove? For probably is. But I decided against it. Probably wrong. think a 9 comes on the turn here. I think I go. Still, it's yeah. Ace 4. 4 chips. These are, you know, I like just to really. My thinking is this: I need to study, but push forward a lot more. But I really try to only play in position, really kind of, if I can, button sort of cut off, and then blind versus blind if I can. Not really be playing against too many players. 7-3 here, I'm pretty sure is a shove. I don't think I do. Cool. And I think any suited hands should be calling here. I fold 3.3 chips. Again 4-3, 2.6 chips. It's just like, you know, you really want a hand to come. I don't. This is the whole tournament. It was. I quite literally in this tournament. I had 3 kings, and I won. And I won some big money with them in this tournament. And that's all I had. One had it like a multi-way pot, and I rivered something, and I won 4 stacks, and I just sat there waiting to this. Queen 10, go for that. And I think we were lucky here, yeah. See, it's in position. Couple of chips. I think we'll have to do it. Yeah, Queen 7 suited. I was clicking forward. I think this is a mistake. This should be shoving this, I think. 6 chips. I might be wrong. I'm gonna put this through my isomizer later, just to be interesting to see how crap that I'm playing. So I mean, that just shows you how lucky poker can be, doesn't it? On the day, I think there's a lot of luck, because I think myself, I haven't really played very well here. I haven't got this far in this tournament by playing well. I think I've got this far just by being lucky. Other tournaments where sometimes I've got this far, you know, my feeling is I played okay. And at the moment, I'm just in my in tournaments. I'm just playing too much of a tag style, you know, hit or fold. Got it, bung it. Haven't got it, fold it. You know, yeah, I'm kind of a little bit more nervous about playing my ranges than I am in the cash games, because like in cash games, I've got a lot more chips. I just reload, you know. King 3, I'm shoving that on the button suited. Less than 4 chips. Don't think I have any option to do anything else here. get called. I don't know, it would really be great if we could get this. And then here we go. I mean, if we'd got a heart on that river. Okay, so that's it. You know, was that just over $100 or something? Plus the 440 buy-in. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Thank you for watching. Any suggestions? That would be great. I hope to see you again soon. Take care.